Welcome to our fourth and final part of our Introduction to Cruise series. I'm Lauren from Not Just Travel and your host for tonight's event. If you've watched our previous ones, you may have seen our ocean, luxury and river cruise events. If not, they are available on our page to catch up on. Coming up tonight, we have G Adventures, Hurtigruten and Scenic all joining us to showcase some of their incredible expedition cruises. These extraordinary ships are like nothing you've ever experienced before and allow you to get up close and personal with undiscovered destinations. They've got added extras such as camping in Antarctica, sea kayaking, chasing the northern lights, custom-built helicopters and submarines, and even getting up close and personal with some of the wildlife that you can find on these cruises. Plus, we're also going to get a little insight into a ship whose godmother is Dame Helen Mirren. So you're not going to want to miss tonight's event. Before we get into that, here's a little bit about us here at Not Just Travel. So we have personal travel consultants all over the UK who are here to make planning your next holiday stress-free and easy. Whether you know exactly what you want or you need some travel inspiration, our consultants will use their knowledge and expertise to create a holiday that is bespoke to you. And from the whole package to the finishing touches, such as car hire and travel insurance, they have got you covered. So without further ado, let's kick tonight's event off. We are first going to head over to Danny from Scenic, who is going to showcase some of Scenic's incredible expedition itineraries, where not only can you take to the skies, but you can also dive under the depths of the ocean on your expedition cruise. Over to you, Danny.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this 10-minute introduction presentation on expedition cruises. My name is Danny Joel, and I am one of the sales managers representing both brands, Scenic and Emerald Cruises. It's my absolute pleasure to be here again, supporting one of our preferred and valued agents, Not Just Travel. So I'm just going to share my screen and hopefully you'll be able to see it. This is the technical bit that I find difficult, but there you go. So you must now know about the history because we've done a few of these Facebook Lives. So what I wanted to highlight of how we got into the world of expedition cruises. So Glenn, as part of our Scenic touring program, was chartering out expedition ships. But Glenn, being Glenn, always knew he could do it bigger and better. He's always looking at heightening guest expectations and experience. So over the 10-15 years, Glenn's come up with a design, and we're very proud to say that we own, manage and operate the world's first discovery yacht, mixing that expedition and discovery with luxury, the new benchmark in ultra luxury cruising.
Today, I don't have to play a role as I get to become the real-life godmother of the world's first discovery yacht, and that is an incredible honor. Coming off that yacht, all I could think of was, wow. Oh, wow. This is incredible. I'm so proud, I'm so honored to christen this beautiful vessel, which I have no doubt will embark on countless adventures and bring joy to the lives of future guests during her wonderful life in immaculate style and safety. May God bless this ship and all who sail on her.
Very, very proud to have Dame Helen Mirren as our very own godmother, who christened the ship back in September 2019. Now here she is. So she's ultra all-inclusive. No money will cross hands on board. She boasts 10 different decks, 115 outside veranda suites. She has 2 helicopters, a submarine, zodiacs, kayaks, paddleboards, and she's polar class. So she cruises from the top of the world to the bottom and everywhere in between. She takes 228 passengers in the middle of the world. And when she's cruising the polar regions, she goes down to 200, which will allow more landings and a higher guest ratio. rating. She also, as I said, is polar class, so ice strengthened hull, extended stabilizers, which are 50% larger than a conventional vessel of her size, GPS positioning, anti-propulsion systems, and her bow thrusters are also 50% larger than a conventional vessel of her size. So I know what you're thinking, very much James Bond, but she is state-of-the-art, packed full of all the latest technology and engineering features. So I want to show you a few of our very own pictures from when we had our first season down in Antarctica. This is the observation deck at the front, the bow of the ship. This is a great place where our guests can take pictures of all the wonderful scenery, the wildlife and more. Our discovery team, the best of the best, all cherry picked because they all wanted a piece of this ship. So we've managed to get the best in the field, from ecologists, biologists, penguinologists, believe it or not, and much, much more. And we're boast a team of around about 20 when we're cruising these polar regions. Now, in the state-of-the-art theatre on board, this is where the Discovery team will give their lectures. But this is where our guests will come on in these comfortable hydraulic seats. And this is when everything drops, because when they're out on the landings, when they're out on the ice, they're taking everything in. So our Discovery team are not asked many questions. But it's not until they get back on board that they're bombarded with these questions in this state-of-the-art theatre. This is also where the pilots from the helicopters, the submarine, the captains will also give their lectures of what you can expect on a day-to-day basis in these vast and beautiful regions. Now, I've highlighted this because when our guests are out doing the snowshoe walking, it can be quite tiresome. This is a great place to come back and stretch out and then relax in the evening in one of our all-inclusive dining venues. Now, our Discovery Centre, this is where you can get changed. We provide you with a parka and boots. Now, the parkas are all branded with our guest names, and this is something that our guests can take home with them. The only thing we ask you to provide is some waterproof pants. Now, our 6-star offering, as I said, we boast 2 state-of-the-art Airbus helicopters. Just imagine seeing an iceberg from an aerial point of view, because when you're on sea level, you only get to see 5 to 10%. So this is an amazing addition to our offering. I'm just going to play you a quick video now on the helicopter.
Scenic has been delivering world-class experiences for over 3 decades. Scenic offers a unique combination of luxury and discovery for those who love to travel.
Behind me, we have one of our 2 Airbus H130 T2s. These aircraft operate with the Turbomeca Ariel 2D engine. A very strong, very powerful, very reliable engine. The aircraft has a Finistron tail rotor on it. The sound signature on these is much quieter. These aircraft were chosen by the Scenic Eclipse team in order to use because they're specifically designed for flight seeing. We specifically chose these aircraft because they're one of the quietest aircraft on the market to operate. And the interior for the passengers is extremely quiet as well. Well insulated as far as noise coming from outside in. We also provide the passengers with Bose noise canceling headsets. They're able to talk amongst each other during the flight operation, but at the same time, the Bose is performing its noise cancellation, which it's almost whisper quiet inside. So the passengers don't hear any, what you would think of as typical helicopter noise at all. It's like being inside almost a library. It's so quiet inside the aircraft. So it's actually a very enjoyable experience and quiet.
Scenic Eclipse, the world's first discovery yachts. Early bird offers out now.
Well, what a wonderful way to experience these vast and remote regions on 2 Airbus helicopters. Now, another addition to our fleet is the Neptune submarine. Now, she can dive up to 300 meters. I'm just going to showcase a quick video on this wonderful.
Scenic has been delivering world-class experiences for over 3 decades. Scenic offers a unique combination of luxury and discovery for those who love to travel.
This is a U-Boat Works cruise submarine. We offer submarine excursions on different voyages. So in Antarctica, people will go down to the seafloor of Antarctica and see all the colorful life that's out there. So the submarine can sit 7 people, so that's 6 guests and the pilot. And we can actually dive to 300 meters deep with this submarine. It's a very strange experience, of course, because usually people that cruise, they're used to seeing the ocean from above, and we get to explore below the surface with this submarine. So it's very unique. There's not many places in the world where you can experience diving in a submarine, so it's an out-of-this-world experience. I've seen beautiful jellyfish in Antarctica that had tentacles up to 15 meters long. Just huge jellyfish that haven't been seen all that often before, even by scientists. So then, yeah, I do have to pinch myself to see if it's real.
Scenic Eclipse, the world's first discovery.
So these 2 offerings, the submarine and helicopters, do really make us stand out from any other expedition ship. So also we offer kayak excursions. We've got Zodiacs, tenders, all state of the art. They're unique because we're sat on the edge instead of facing forward as well. This is some real pictures, look, getting up close to the penguins and the wildlife, because they don't have no real predators down in Antarctica. So they really are friendly. They're showing off, they're bouncing around on the ice and more.
With Scenic Eclipse, we'll be taking up the zodiacs, and you'll be on them as we get up close and personal to the glaciers. Extraordinary, safe, stable craft where we'll have you prepared in the right gear, nice and warm, nice and safe. I'll be the driver. I'll be driving you closer to the glacier. Your excitement is building. What will we see? Well, we'll see history in the making in a lot of ways, because this ice-encapsulated continent is full of glaciers and icebergs. We'll get as far away as safe, but as close as you can possibly get. We'll be looking around in the waters for any whales that might be appearing at the same time. At some stage, I'm probably going to ask you to all keep quiet as I turn off the engine and wait for the silence to envelop us. Every day is different, every zodiac trip is different as well.
So there you go. So we haven't got time to run through all of our itineraries this evening, but we do urge you to contact your Not Just Travel consultant to, to get some more information, send you digital brochures, which will go into a little bit more in depth on a day-to-day basis and what you can expect. So we go from the top of the world to the bottom. So we're concentrating tonight on the polar regions. I'm just going to showcase the Arctic, Svalbard and Greenland.
A 14-day cruise to the Arctic Islands is a rare opportunity to escape into the immensity of this vast wilderness. Starting at Spitsbergen in northern Norway, you'll explore its magnificent coastline of carved glaciers, towering bird cliffs, and pack ice. Spot walruses, reindeer, and even polar bears, the kings of the Arctic. Crossing the Greenland Sea, follow the Greenlandic coastline, visit the world's largest national park, and cruise through some of the world's largest fjord systems before reaching Reykjavik, Iceland, where six-star luxury meets discovery. Scenic Eclipse, the world's first discovery yachts.
So that was right up in the Arctic. So we're just going to have a quick look at some of the Svalbard itineraries. So the High Arctic Explorer, this is a 15-day itinerary, Oslo to Bergen. Arctic Islands, Iceland, Greenland, and Svalbard, a 13-day itinerary, Oslo to Oslo. Arctic Adventure, a 15-day itinerary, Oslo to Reykjavik. The Ultimate Arctic Circle, this is a massive 27-day itinerary from Amsterdam to Oslo. And the pinnacle of all trips, the Ultimate Arctic Islands, the 25-day itinerary, Oslo to Reykjavik as well. The Ultimate Arctic and Iceland, the 24-day itinerary to Reykjavik to Oslo as well. So that's the top of the world from the Arctic region and the Canadian Arctic. But as I said, we do urge you to contact your Not Just Travel consultants for more information. Now going to the bottom of the world, Antarctica in depth, the ultimate adventure.
Whether you're a keen naturist or adventurer at heart, experience true discovery on this 19-day Antarctica, South Georgia, and Falkland Islands cruise. Plan to travel during December and January, as it is a time like no other. Arrive as the penguin breeding cycle reaches its peak. Chicks become juveniles, parents shuffle fish ashore, and seal pups thrill with mock charges. In March, there is an abundant amount of whales, seals, birds, and penguins on display as they prepare for the annual migration north. See South Georgia teeming with stunning wildlife, with king penguin colonies, leopard and elephant seals, and historic sites and scientific stations. While the intriguing Falkland Islands are utterly unique and one of the last great wilderness destinations with outstanding landscapes and unique wildlife. Where six-star luxury meets discovery. Scenic Eclipse, the world's first discovery yacht.
So there you go. So taking to Antarctica, so the Antarctica Peninsula. Scenic Eclipse experts, discovery leaders will tailor make your voyage on a day-to-day basis, as I said. So cruising on the Zodiacs, and you're stepping onto the ice. This landing here, as you can see, how close we can get up to these landings because of the state-of-the-art engineering features she has on board. There's the Emperor Penguin showing off there, which is just amazing. As I said, she is purpose-built with the latest technology, and her stabilizers are 50% larger than a conventional vessel of her size. So she has 0-speed stabilized cruising facilities. So when you're cruising the Drake Passage, there's hardly any swell or movement, which is great for those of you that do suffer with seasickness. Some more images here of when she was down in Antarctica, her first season down in 2019, the penguins. And again, this landing, the Emperor Penguin there on his belly, which is just absolutely amazing. The Zodiacs and how close you can get to the wildlife. This is a real image, again, down in Antarctica. Paddleboarding and more. You can cruise with confidence with Scenic, as mentioned before, because our health and safety is at the utmost priority with us. We've got various different protocols in place, as you can see here. But again, if you want some more information on this, do contact your Not Just Travel consultants. Peace of mind, as mentioned before, she is absolutely state of the art. So maximum of 200 guests in the polar regions, exceptional, personalized, intimate, spacious, fully inclusive, well, all inclusive, sorry, beg your pardon. So just to recap, luxury suites, 114 outside veranda suites, come with your own butler, 10 different dining options, your premium branded drinks, indulgent spaces, your discovery team, Scenic and Rich. This is where we take you off the ship to create once in a lifetime experiences. Scenic free choice activities up to 4 per day, which is part of the all-inclusive as well. We do have some wonderful super early bird offers in place with savings up to 20% on selected itineraries. So again, we do urge you to contact your Not Just Travel consultants. And that is it from me. I really, really appreciate your time, and we hope to see you soon.
Wow, a true out of this world experience, and definitely one to add to the bucket list. Thank you, Danny. Don't forget, coming up later, we do still have G Adventures and Hurtigruten. And don't forget, if you are looking to book your next holiday, to get in touch with your personal travel consultant who invited you to watch tonight's event. Or you can head over to notjusttravel.com today to find your local personal travel consultant. We are now going to hand over to Jane from G Adventures, who's going to showcase some of G Adventures' incredible small polar expeditions, where we're going to get up close and personal with some nosy penguins, elephant seals, and stunning landscapes.
Hello there. So I'm Jane from G Adventures, joined with Not Just Travel today to talk to you a little bit about expedition cruising. So a little bit first about who we are. So we are the biggest independent adventure travel company in the world. We have 684 tours in over 100 countries, and we're very well known for small polar adventures. So our ship is very, very small. So she holds 134 passengers, and we sail in Antarctica, the Arctic, Norway, and Greenland. So you can see here is our polar ship. She's very, very tiny. She really is a home away from home, has got a home away from home feel inside, from the dining experiences to the cabins, to the friendly staff that are on board, especially our expedition team who have got over 100 years of knowledge between them. So yes, we cater for up to 134 passengers. It's an intimate small ship cruising experience. The guest ratio is 10:1, and our expedition team members have a range of different expertise, including geology, marine biology, and then we also have a resident photographer on board to show you how to take the best pictures whilst out in these destinations. She was completely refurbished in 2009, and she's got spacious, comfortable cabins with private en suites. And then we've got large common areas and observation decks for you there as well. Some beautiful dining experiences with international cuisine on board. So polar expeditions. So actually this is one of our zodiacs, getting up and close and cozy to the nosy penguins out in Antarctica. And you can just see here just some of the beautiful, I love this photo, the beautiful scenery that you'll witness whilst in Antarctica and the high Arctic. So what's on board? We've got a 360-degree observation deck. So you'll spend a lot of time out here capturing the best photos, whether it's the midnight sun in Svalbard or whether it's whales and penguins in Antarctica. We've also got a large heated mudroom, a Lonely Planet library, and we've got our Discovery Lounge where you'll spend time in the evening in the Discovery Lounge listening to different lectures. We've then got our Polar Bear pub, very original name I know, on board, and then we've got our large deck outside with barbecue facilities as well. So we've also got a medical clinic, we've got a gym on there, we've got a sauna, which is so nice to use after you've spent a couple of hours on landing onto the ice in Antarctica. We have a gift shop, and we've also got a room with internet there as well. So we've got different levels of cabins. We've got a twin share here with big windows there for you to witness all of the spectacular scenery that you're going to see. We've then got a double ensuite, and then we've got a double suite as well, but we have got quad cabins for those that would like to share. So we've got a range of different cabins on board for you to pick from. So in the evenings, as I've said, we've got our Discovery Lounge, and this is where you'll listen in on different educational lectures, whether it be marine biology, a little bit on photography, geology, a range of different talks that we have and lectures in the evenings. We've then got our dining room. So our dining room is actually built higher up on the ship. So we've got windows around the dining room because actually a lot of the time they're built lower down on the ship, and you don't tend to have sort of those big spacious windows. But we built slightly higher up so you can take in that beautiful scenery whilst having your evening meal. We've then got outside dining, and just some of the food that you'll experience on board, you know, from fresh fruits to different evening meals, whether you're vegetarian, different meat options that we have as well, real hearty food that is needed when you're experiencing cold temperatures like this in Antarctica. But I think sitting out there on deck having your evening meal whilst gliding through that ice is just a once in a lifetime experience, isn't it? We've then got our resident photographer. So on board, we've got a resident photographer, and they're on hand to help you, especially if you've got new cameras. And they also run workshops as well on board in the evenings. So if you do want to take part in that, you're more than welcome to. And then our famous mudroom. So it certainly doesn't sound that glamorous, but it is really practical. No one really wants to share their cabins with their wet clothes, do they, for a week? So our mudroom provides a safe location, and it's actually where you get on and off the Zodiacs as well, for your wet clothes, and it's above the engine room as well, so they dry very quickly before your next excursion. We've then got the sauna and gym there, so it's just a great way to relax, especially if you are going to take part in our polar plunge, which I'll come on to. So a great way to relax in the afternoons. And then for any of those fitness junkies out there who want to keep exercising at the bottom of the world, and we've got a gym here that's open from 8 till 10. So a little bit about our expedition teams. There's daily expert talks and briefings on different topics. Our expert team, actually, they have over 100 years of experience between them, which is amazing. And you've got just so much experience there on board between them. And then our officers have actually made more than 100 polar cruises, would you believe? And we've got an open air, an open bridge policy as well for any of you that would like to go up to the bridge. So a typical day on board the expedition. So wake up around 7 a.m, early breakfast, and then we have our first Zodiac landing, approximately 2 hours. We then have a spot of lunch, and then we then have our second landing in the afternoon around 2 o'clock. Around 6 o'clock, you have a recap of the day, a little bit of a briefing on the next day, and different lectures that will be held through the course in the evening and throughout the week. We then have dinner, and then we'll have a documentary every evening around 9:30. But I just think, just look at this scenery, it's spectacular, isn't it? So our team, they're there as well to assist with shore landings. And we can't promise you that you won't get a little bit wet, so make sure you bring some waterproof trousers for the shore landings. And then what to wear. So we actually include a expedition jacket to all of our guests, and they get to keep that jacket and take that jacket home. And it's actually reversible, so it's padded black inside and then red on the outside, so you can wear it either way. We also have, which is actually only offered in Antarctica only, but we have our camping experience, which, wow, if I was going to Antarctica, this is what I want to book and do, to spend a night under the stars, to actually say you've camped in Antarctica, and to tick that off your bucket list. So we do have limited spaces on that, and you do have to pre-book it before departure. So speak to your Not Just Travel expert, and they can get that added on for you. We also have our sea kayaking. So we have our kayaking experiences, again, which need to be booked in advance. And we offer these in the Arctic and Antarctica. It is best, and it is actually a requirement that you do have a little bit of sea kayaking experience, just for the different sort of temperatures that the waters are out there and how quickly the pace and stuff can change. So yeah, if that's something you want to do, you certainly ask for more information on that. And our famous polar plunge, I love the look of this. So I don't think it's actually 2 degrees. I think it's colder than that. But you can actually do the famous polar plunge if you fancy doing that. And then on to Antarctica. The ice always just really surprises me of how many different colours of blue there are in the spectrum when you're looking at all of the different icebergs in Antarctica. And it's in so many different forms as well. It never fails to amaze me. But look at that. That's just a bucket list experience, isn't it? Sailing through the ice in Antarctica silently as the crisp ice and snow is cracking. It just looks amazing, doesn't it? You'll also spot some elephant seals. They're the largest seals that can be found in South Georgia. And if you visit at the right time, you can see them battle for mates, which is a pretty cool experience. So some of our itineraries. So we have the Antarctica Classic. So this is an 11-day trip in and out of Ushuaia, where we sail the Drake Passage, and we spend time on the Antarctic Peninsula and the South Shetland Islands. So that starts at $4,899 per person for 11 days. And that again includes all of your foods and your lectures and experiences on board. We then have our Antarctica Classic in depth, which is 13 days. Cost starts there at $5,699. Again, you conquer the notorious Drake Passage and spend a little bit more time on the peninsula there, and hopefully come face to face with some of the amazing polar wildlife out there. Then on to the Arctic. So Svalbard is actually covered in glaciers. Around 70% of it actually is covered in glaciers. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for a carving or two whilst you're out in the Arctic. Love this photo again. So cruising through the fjords here, drifting past gigantic peaks and huge glaciers. And even just being on our ship and just sailing through these regions is just an experience in itself. And hopefully you get to witness the famous polar bears out in Svalbard. So we aim to find bears in the ice, as that's the best time and place to actually spot them. We also have wilderness walks. Our expedition crew will provide provide, we've got your jackets there as well, but they'll provide sort of lead whilst you're out on your wilderness walks, and we go in short groups there as well, but just taking that beautiful scenery. And in Norway as well, we include hikes as well on our expeditions. We have Arctic foxes, so you'll spot Arctic foxes in the Arctic as well, so they're really inquisitive and playful, but you can see them there in their white coats, and darker ones actually in the summer. So in the Arctic, so I've got a couple of trips to run through here with you. So we've got a 16-day trip, which starts in Edinburgh and ends in Tromsø. So you'll spend your time there sailing in and out of the beautiful fjords that mainland Norway offers. And then we've got the realm of the polar bear. So that's a 13-day trip there, where we spend all of our time in Svalbard. And we depart in and out of Longyearbyen. So again, you can take your turn on polar bear watch with a member of the expedition team. Make sure you bring your binoculars, and you can challenge yourself if you fancy it with the optional polar plunge. So we actually spend our time in Svalbard in September time as well. And Antarctica, the winter season is from October through to March. So a little bit about the G difference. So to finish up on just the difference of booking with G. So it's 100% guaranteed departures. It's been a bit different the last 18 months, but especially from 2022, getting back to the 100% guaranteed departures. So if you're booked, you're going. Lifetime deposits. So once you've paid your deposit, you can keep it on file for a lifetime. So if you do want to move your trip and you can no longer travel, you can move it to a different trip, or you can gift it to a friend or family member. Everything on board is included, from your tea and coffees in the morning, your meals throughout on your lectures and experiences, and there's 24/7 service as well. So there's always someone on hand to help with anything that you may need whilst on the G expedition. So if you are interested in any of our trips, do reach out to Not Just Travel, and they can package a G Adventures expedition together for you. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight into Antarctica, the high Arctic, and the NS expedition. So thank you for tuning in.
Indulgent escapes means something different to everyone. For some, it's complimentary drinks in the air, the luxury of a private transfer, or extra space to take everything you want. For others, it's pure relaxation in our collection of 5-star hotels. Whatever indulgence means to you, you'll find it with us. Indulgent Escapes by Jet2 Holidays.
Thank you, Jane. How incredible does that Antarctica camping look? Definitely one to get added on. So make sure you speak to your personal travel consultant to get that extra experience added on. And plus that chance to see the polar bears as well. Definitely a cruise that you need to be booking up and getting on. We are now going to head over to Natalie from Hurtigruten. And with over 128 years experience, Hurtigruten definitely know how to do expedition cruises. And with even some available sailing from the UK, let's head on over to Natalie and take a look.
Hi everyone, it's Natalie here at Hurtigruten. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this presentation. I'll be giving a brief explanation as to who we are at Hurtigruten and our massive expedition side of the business. So what I'll do now is I will just share the screen to begin the presentation. So some of you may know us, but others may not. We are the leaders in expedition travel with 128 years worth of experience. So if you want to go on an expedition cruise, then certainly come with us because we are the pros. Why cruise with Hurtigruten? What makes us different? Mainly is we have smaller ships than other cruise lines, which allow us to take guests to hard to reach ports. There's no daily schedule to follow, so although you'll have an itinerary and pick and choose all the different excursions you want to go on, you could be as active as you like, or you may want to just settle in for the day in the science centre and listen to all the different lectures on board, discussing about where you've just been or any specialist areas we have. There's no compulsory gratuities on board and no formal dress code, so you'll find that everybody is of a similar dress code. very casual polo shirt and jeans, or something like that. There's no dress up dinners, and certainly no West End shows on board. Our entertainment is our science centre and our lectures, so it's more of a educational and a little bit of that David Attenborough type of feel. The places where we explore to, we go to Svalbard, Iceland, Greenland, Northwest Passage, Alaska, North America, South America, the Caribbean and Central America, Europe, Norway and Antarctica. Over the past month, we've added Galapagos, West Africa there, and parts of Russia. So we're certainly expanding and exploring our way through the world, but any destination you can think of, we probably go there. So yeah, just let us know, and we'd be more than happy to find an itinerary that suits you. What really sets us above anybody else is our expedition team. They are a group of experts in their field. They have different range of backgrounds such as geology, marine biology and ornithology. Just to name a few, we have photographers on board, and this really allows us to create the excursions and give the absolute adventure to our customers. Some excursion examples are wildlife nature walks, husky sledge adventures, Viking feasts, and obviously what's really important to us is our sustainability credentials. So we have beach cleanups and other ways that you can get involved in the local environment to make a positive impact on where you've just visited. There's also different levels of activity, so you don't need to be super fit. If you are disabled, then there will be certainly some excursions and activities that are available to you. Or if you are super fit and you like to go on those long hikes, then our team will be able to do different excursions that are suitable for you. So there really is something for everybody, and also all ages. We average 45 plus on board Hurtigruten. So really there is something there for everybody, including if you wanted to bring your children along. We have a young explorer centre, so yeah, everybody is welcome on board. Something we don't really talk about, and we should, is the dining on board. It's all locally and ethically sourced in each of the ports that we go to. If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, we have the menu there since 2017, which has proved to be extremely popular. And on our expedition ships, there are 3 areas to dine on board. It's all very relaxed, as mentioned before. And on all expedition voyages, this is an all-inclusive. So you get your drinks with your meals, you get your 3 meals a day, and there's all the areas to choose from. On our coastal voyages, which I'll briefly touch upon, you'll have full board on the ships. Just very briefly, just to show you our fleet and the divide between expedition and Norwegian coastal. Our coastal is our heritage, all the way up the coast of Norway. But as you can see, our expedition ships are growing in numbers. And this is where we're investing a lot of money in that sustainable cruising in this factor. So you can see that we will be absolutely exploring the world with these ships. So as mentioned, our Hurtigruten heritage is our coastal route, iconic since 1893. And what we do here is we sail from Bergen and all the way up these 32 ports of calls, all the way up to Kirkenes there. So this is where we started to explore the world. And then from Norway, we then discovered Svalbard in 1896. And then from that was our taste to really explore all the polar regions. With our Norway trips, we have our Northern Lights promise. So that means if you don't see the Northern Lights with us, we will give you another voyage for free. So we're pretty positive that you will see the Northern Lights with us. But as you can see, all these different ports of call allow you to really experience and immerse yourself in the Norwegian style, the Norwegian life, and to also get with the locals and understand their culture. But what we're here really to talk about is expedition. So we have 3 expedition ships sailing from the UK. Maud, here in the middle, sailing from Dover, has literally just taken her first UK expedition customers on Wednesday from Dover all the way up to Norway. And I was extremely lucky to get on board and see her in all her glory. And it was absolutely fantastic for us, and I think for the travel industry in general, to get back on track. And us customers, we want to travel, so it's happening now. So we're really lucky to have Maud sailing with us from Dover. We've got Fridtjof Nansen sailing from Liverpool and Portsmouth next year, and Spitsbergen sailing from Glasgow there. Nansen will be sailing to Iceland, and Spitsbergen there will do a mixture of the Scottish Isles and also up to Norway. Maud, we have British Isles, Dover and Southern Scandinavia on the books at the moment, but yeah, she's looking like she's going to expand the itineraries available with her over the next few years. So briefly mentioning there about Maud sailing from Dover, here is one of the expeditions that we are taking part in as from Wednesday. So it's a 15-day itinerary here, the Northern Lights and Fjords expedition cruise from Dover. Remember, everything is included in this, including the Northern Lights promise. And although you don't get to see those 34 ports of call up the coast of Norway there, you do get to have more time in port. Beers and wine are included with meals. Also, you get your excursions included on this. We've got a fantastic onboard expedition team, including Orca, who are the whales specialists, and they will absolutely be able to guide you through all the wildlife in the sea as we travel. Tea and coffee and Wi-Fi is also available. We understand 15 days is long, so you want to get on your phones, or maybe you want to take some photos and share them with your friends and family. Wi-Fi is particularly perfect on here. And obviously sustainability, as I mentioned, is really important to us as a business. So all of our ships are looking to be transferred over to the biofuel technology. Maud was the first to be transferred over to that biofuel, which reduces the CO2 emissions by 80%. Again, this is something we're continually striving to improve, and hopefully we want to make a positive footprint left on the places we visit. So we're certainly striving for that. With an expedition cruise, although it may be more expensive than our coastal route, it's certainly more money, it's more worth your money. You've got the cabin of your choice, so you can pick that from the very start. As mentioned, you've got breakfast, lunch and dinner, including beverages. You've got the a la carte restaurant for Lindstrom, and that's for suite guests. That's a fantastic restaurant that do the best eggs Benedicts. But it's also great if you're just about to go on your adventure, you just want to nip in and just grab something to eat. It's very good for that. Complimentary tea and coffee and Wi-Fi on board. You get complimentary reusable bottle, which is great for obviously when you're hiking or you're going on your activities off board, and there's lots of water refill stations as well. And there's a range of activities and excursions included in this. As I mentioned, we've got lots of lectures on board. We have those excursions, the husky sledding, all sorts of different types of ventures, Viking feast if you're a foodie. Just let us know, and the team at Not Just Travel will be able to help you. Something which I think is very important in this day and age is the book with confidence policy we have, which we hope gives you confidence when you're booking. It gives you peace of mind that when you want to go on your next holiday along Norway, you'll have financial security, so you can receive your refund. And it's a quick refund, so we make sure it's back with you within 14 days. And this can be made to any of the new bookings. So if you book within the next couple of days of Not Just Travel, you will be covered by this book with confidence policy. So I've given you a little bit of a taster of Hurtigruten. Obviously, we've got a whole massive range of places we go to. But we do hope that we are able to welcome you on board soon. And thank you again for your time. And if you have any questions, just let us know.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Natalie. These expedition cruises are going to allow you to take in some of the world's most breathtaking landscapes. Whether it be the Arctic, Galapagos, or Antarctica, an expedition cruise is sure to be like nothing you've ever experienced before. As well as that, you're going to have a host of experts on hand, whether it be to show you how to get that perfect shot of the wildlife or to learn more of the geography of the untouched landscapes. It's going to be an incredible experience on board, and definitely one that you need to add to your bucket list. Don't forget, get in touch with your personal travel consultant who invited you to watch tonight's event. Or if you haven't got your own personal travel consultant yet, make sure you head on over to notjusttravel.com to find your local one today. As always, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to our fabulous suppliers for showcasing their expedition cruises this evening.